Hello, this is Donnie Cantwell, aka Charlie Crimebuster, and we're going to do a crime tip on Brian Laundrie. It's breaking news. We've just realized and understood from the media that Brian Laundrie actually took a trip back home while he was on his cross-country trip with Gabby. Now we are being told that he flew home on August the 17th. Then he returned back to Utah on August the 23rd. Get this, which was 4 days before Gabby was last seen. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, why? Why did he fly back to Florida and then fly back to Utah? Well, according to his attorney, Bertolini, he said that they came back, or Brian came back to get supplies and quote unquote clean out their storage unit. Now get this, so that they could save money. Hey, I don't know about you, but that's a hard story for me to buy. I mean, why would you spend $500 plus to fly back to save money? Just doesn't make sense. You could close out the storage unit by making a phone call, getting your parents to help. And if you needed money, they could just wire it. So this doesn't make any sense at all. So why did he? Why did he fly back to Florida in the middle of their cross-country trip? And remember, this was just days after he and Gabby was featured in that traffic stop, the infamous traffic stop where they had a domestic dispute. So why did he fly back? Here is my thoughts about it. As we know, in any domestic violence situation, there are stages. The first stage is what we call the tension building stage, where everybody gets on everybody's nerves. And then there is the violent stage, when he acts out, or she acts out. And then thirdly, there's the honeymoon stage, where you make up and you get back again and you start through the cycle again. Tension building, some sort of episode, then the honeymoon. Well, we know that there was tension building prior to the traffic stop. We know the traffic stop was that episode, that acting out. So now we find that he decides to fly back. Do you think maybe that the tension had built and they were calling it off? And so it was her van, so he would be the one to get on a plane and fly back to Florida. Only thing is, while he was in Florida, perhaps they were talking together, and he was, of course, as he probably did time and time again, apologizing. I don't know why I did this. You just make me so mad. You make me so angry. But I'm over it now, and honey, I'll never do that again. Let's get back together. We have a good thing going. And so he flies back to Utah. And then what happens? You got it. More tension. This time the tension gets even more enormous in their life. And all of a sudden the episode, well, that was just violent, that was just domestic abuse, well, then maybe it turned into murder. This is my take on it. What about you? Why else would he leave their cross-country trip in the middle of it, or right after the traffic stop, fly all the way back to Florida, and then fly all the way back to Utah? It just makes sense to me that it was all part of that vicious cycle of domestic violence. The tension building, the episode, the honeymoon, and then back again. This has been Charlie Crimebuster, and this has been a Crimebuster tip about the Gabby Petito story. I would love to hear your comments about this and what you think. You can reach us at charliecrimebuster@gmail.com. That's charliecrimebuster@gmail.com. Once again, this has been a Charlie Crimebuster crime tip.